Okay, so welcome to Design Time, everybody. This is Carolyn Stoll, and our camera's trying to figure out how to focus in on us. And this is, if you haven't met our new instructional designer yet, this is Christian and he joined us in October. And so he's going to be co-hosting Design Time with me today. We're going to be talking about how to export your grades to the Registrar using the Blackboard interface. If you haven't done this before, it's a real time saver, particularly if you are keeping your grades in Blackboard. It is particularly also if you have a large class with a lot of students in it, because it can take a long time to transcribe those grades over to the Registrar site on the website. This way you can just export them and then check them and make sure that they're right and submit to the Registrar. So let's go ahead and get started. And Christian, I'll go ahead and share the screen.
Okay.
Let me pull this over out of the way. Get a couple housekeeping things out of the way here.
All right.
There we go.
Cool.
All right. There you go. You can drive.
Wonderful. So like Carolyn said, exporting the grades through Blackboard is very easy. It's a lot less time consuming, and it really makes the whole process easy on you. So to begin, we're looking at our dummy course here, Nutrition 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to scroll down to the lower section of your menu board here. And we're looking under the control panel section. We're going to drop down to...
You want to show them the Grade Center?
Yeah. There we go. So under Grade Center, we're going to go to the full Grade Center. And what we need to do is we need to set up an external grade column first. That way the grade can be recorded before we actually report out. Otherwise, there's nothing to report. So as you see here, we've got a final grade column that's listed, and we're going to take a peek at some of the column information here. The number one thing we need is we want our primary display to be letter or letter 2 in this instance. And essentially that's reporting out the letter grade to the Registrar. And that's calibrated with the the college's standard for what the letter grade is based on the number value or the percentage value. Secondary display, by default we have it listed to none. If you have a preference, you can select something different, but the standard for us is none. The other thing we want to take a look at are these little bubbles here. Include an average. We want all the grade columns to be taken a look at here. And then we want this to be calculated as a running total. The other thing to point out is include this column in the Grade Center calculations. No, because we don't want this to be calculated. This is going to be the end calculation. Show this column to the students. That's a preference. It's a good idea, in our opinion, to show that to the students so they have an idea of where they stand. And then show statistics. That's marked as a no. Again, that's a preference really, but we go by the standard here, which we would mark that as a no.
All that does is allow the students to see what's the median and average grade on a given assignment or for the course. Some instructors don't mind students knowing that information. Some of them would prefer they not know that. And likewise with the show the column to the students, there are some instructors that don't show the final grade until it's finalized.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matter of preference what you want to do.
Absolutely. But again, the main point in this screen is your primary display. So once all this is selected, naturally you'll hit submit. Blackboard will run its program, and then you'll notice this little green check mark here. That is showing that this is an external grade. If you're not seeing that green check mark, you need to go back in and revisit to make sure that all those selections have been made. Otherwise, it's not going to report correctly. So with this column being...
Why don't we show them how to do that?
Oh, sure.
To pull down, yeah. It should be available there. Oh, it's already chosen.
Yeah.
That's why. Let's try making total. We'll show you with the total column.
Okay. So with this total column, if I hit the drop down, there's an option set as external grade. By clicking on that, you're going to notice that now total is marked as external grade. Now, in doing that, it's removed it from final grade. So I'm going to go back in and reset that. There we go. But again, the key thing here is you're looking for this little green check mark.
Right. That means that's the column that's going to be set to the registrar, and it has to be set as a letter grade so that the registrar website can receive that data. So
absolutely.
So those two things have to happen before you actually export.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing we're going to do is actually export the grade. Well, we're going to show you how. We can't actually export any grades from this course because it's not an actual course and we're not actually instructors. So what's been done is the Blackboard courses that are actually courses for credit are tied to the registrar system. They're actually created through the student information system and the registrar system. So they talk to one another. So once you are ready to export your grades, you're ready to submit your grades to the registrar. If you come over here to Course Tools, come over to the control panel and look in Course Tools, you should see an Export Your Grades to Online Grading. Now, if you don't see it, there could be two reasons why. One is it could be the wrong time of the semester. So there's a window of time, and I'm not sure how long a window it is, where the registrar makes this option available. And it occurs about midterm for half-term courses, and then again at the end of the term for full-term or second-half courses. So if you don't see it, it could just be you're looking at the wrong time of the term. The other reason you might not see it is it could potentially, I've seen this occasionally, it's very rare, that it's not turned on as a tool. And if that ever happens, if you're looking for a tool under Course Tools and you don't see it, then what you do is you go down to Customization and Tool Availability, and this will be a rather daunting list of all the potential tools that you can have in Blackboard, and they're alphabetized. But you would just scroll down, and I don't see it. I don't see it here.
Grade Center Export.
Well now see that's
it's under G.
It's under G, which makes no sense because the actual name of the tool is Export Grades to Online Grading, which you'd think it would be called that in this list, but it's not because it's Blackboard. So anyway, yeah. So you'd have to look for it and be clever about looking for it, and then make sure that this checkbox is checked, and it is. Yeah. So I said I've not seen that happen very often. But if you should not be able to find the export tool, then that's probably what it is. So, okay, so we're ready to export our grades. And when you click on it, it will take you to this page. And what it wants you to do is it wants you to download and look at, let's just open this in the tab. This, and this is helpful if you've never done it before. It's just how to do it. So everything we're telling you is in this guide. So that's not a bad thing to do. And if you want to download and save it to your desktop or to your local computer, that's a good idea, because if you're like me, you do something like this once a semester, and then by the time it comes back around, you can't remember how to do it. Yeah. So this is helpful. But regardless, they want you to say you have reviewed it. So whether you actually review it or not, you have to check this or click this box. Now, from here, it's not going to let us go any further because this is not a real course. It's not really tied to the registrar, and we're not really instructors. We just play one on TV. So, if we were in a real course, what would happen is it would open a new window, and it would be a login window, like your like you would log into to WebEx or to Blackboard, and then it would take you to the registrar site. So, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even sure you get the login window. I'm thinking that it may just take you to the registrar site. And once you're on the registrar site, if it's worked, what you should see is your grades listed in the column for that course, that section, and you can review them, you can change them. You know, if you're looking at one, you're thinking, oh, you know, Susie got a B+, but really, you know, maybe I'll bump her up to an A-. You can do all of that. You can review them, you can submit them, you can save them and come back later. You can do all the things that you can do as if you were really on the registrar site. And then that's it, and then you're done. And again, this is a real time saver. If you have, 50, 75, 100 students in your course, obviously this is going to save you scads of time. The other thing to keep in mind is, and this goes to if you have a large course or if you have multiple sections in the same course, and let's say you're using a meta course, you cannot submit grades from a meta course. A meta course, not unlike our demonstration course here, is not a real course. It's a course that just ties together two or more sections of an actual course. So you have to submit grades from the actual course. You can't do it from the meta course. So that's something to keep in mind too. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's how it works. So I don't know that any participants have joined us because I was not exactly on the ball this month and didn't get the notice out. So
it's been the holidays.
It's been the holidays. Yeah, I just got back from Thanksgiving and still have
turkey break.
Tryptophan.
Turkey break.
But we're recording this, so if you're watching this on your recording, if you do have any questions, please, don't hesitate to contact CETIS Design, and one of us can walk you through it or answer your questions. So thanks a bunch, and we'll see you next time. Our next episode will be January, I want to say 6th, January 6th, the first Wednesday in January, right before the spring semester starts, and we will be talking about the Retention Center, which if you've never heard of the Retention Center, it'll be, I think you'll find it very useful. It's a way to keep track of your students' progress all in one easy to work with dashboard, and we'll be showing you that and how that works next time. So cool. Happy holidays, everybody, and we'll see you next month.